So lots of stuff here. A smaller show, Infocom, but there's still a lot of great stuff here. Like PTZOptics. Is it HuddleCam or PTZOptics? I always...
So HuddleCam is the USB conferencing side of things, and then PTZOptics is the live streaming and broadcast side of things.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So and HuddleCam is basically also PTZ type cameras, USB based, meant for conference rooms rather than doing what we're doing right now.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, with what we're doing right now, we like to have high quality SDI cameras. With 3G SDI, like you wanted 1080p 60.
I want 4K.
You know, we're pushing.
4K
4K is coming soon, but so we're pushing. We want really good quality. We want 4x4x4 of color space. You know, we want the crispest, best images. Now, for conferencing, when you're compressing everything anyway, you know, it needs to be compressed to get to low conferencing levels. You know, just communication is key there, not necessarily television broadcast. It's a different level of quality required and connectivity.
Yeah.
So it's just a different beast completely.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, what's going to happen after that conference, they're not going to record it. They're probably not going to save it. They're not going to worry about if it's 720 or 1080. In the recording, but maybe some of them do, and if they do, then you can give them a higher end solution. These also work in the church area.
Yeah, the churches are. It's just so great to see the churches spreading the message of God through live streaming. I was hearing a story about a church who has really embraced live streaming. Some churches are a little bit afraid of it because they're worried that people won't come into church. Some churches are really for it, and they're actually getting more online donations.
Yep.
But one of the most interesting stories I've heard about churches today is that the churches will there's a church that I know of live streaming, having a lot of success, growing the organization. But they will have everyone come in and check in on Facebook when they're at church. Then all of their friends see that they just checked in on Facebook at the church. They click on that link, and then they see the live stream, and then they're slowly becoming part of the church.
Yeah, they gotta keep up with the Joneses or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that sort of plays into it.
Yeah. So, but you got the new camera.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. Tell us a little bit about this. I'm salivating, even though I don't need that. I don't know.
So we have a new 30x camera. This is the back here, and it has PoE, power over Ethernet, HDMI.
Just really quick, PoE means that you can use the Ethernet for the power. You don't need the power cord in the device at that location.
Yeah, so that makes it so nice. And we actually have a new Android app I might grab to show you. But it allows you to control it wirelessly as well. So this Ethernet port is like the gateway to a lot of the more advanced features.
Exactly. But you can do HDMI, which is cool because you can do the HDMI. You can put a monitor underneath so they can see from that camera if they wanted to.
Yeah, and a lot of people use it. Everyone seems to use a different mix. You know, I talked to some people who are streaming to their content delivery network right off the network, and then they use HDMI for a mini recorder. Or SDI is going to a broadcast switcher, and then HDMI is going to a local confidence monitor.
Okay.
But there's a lot of different options that people end up doing. And then, of course, there's a completely NDI version as well. And the NDI version essentially just uses the Ethernet for the streaming.
Yeah, and we talked about that at NAB, and that was great to see that the NDI in there. I use the NDI on my camera. It's over my shoulder when I do my live streams.
Oh yeah.
Pointing right at the product, and I thought I'd have some frame issues, but I haven't. I'm going to be using it in a couple weeks back here in Vegas to do another live stream.
Really?
Yeah. We do this every year for Hewlett Packard Enterprise and HPE Discover.
Oh wow.
So we live stream the coffee talks.
Nice.
So we'll be back here over at the Venetian, where we'll be doing live streams from there. So
wow.
And the PTZ, the best part about coffee talks is you need to always get around the table somehow, because somebody's like, maybe Mike will ask a question. It's like I gotta point to Mike so we can see him ask the question, and then I can just hit a button and there it is, and he's right there. Now the newer things with vMix, OBS, Wirecast, they all have PTZ options on there now. And you guys were working hard on the OBS one. I saw all those posts flying by on that.
Yeah, so one of the great things about what we're trying to do is, so our vision is to be the best pan-tilt zoom camera manufacturer in the world. That's our 5-10 year plan.
Nice.
And who knows if we'll ever become the absolute best. But in order to do our job as to the best of our ability, we have to have developers that are really working with plugins for the software that people are using.
Okay.
So vMix and Wirecast actually built the pan-tilt zoom plugins themselves, and they did a great job, and we were super happy. They do stuff like that.
Yeah.
OBS is used by 40 million people. It's the biggest live streaming software in the world, but it's open source. So if you want your camera to work with it, you got to build it yourself.
Build it yourself, yeah.
So we've got developers now that are helping us build applications and plugins and different things to make our customers' lives easier. And the next one we're working on is Blackmagic. So every couple months, you're going to see new plugins and apps that are coming out.
Nice. Yeah, definitely would like to see some Blackmagic abilities in there because, I talk to people all the time that use PTZ cameras, PTZOptics cameras, and even huddle cams for that matter. And in different situations, just like you said, everybody uses it differently every single time, and it's weird. Yeah, I probably even use it differently than what other people do, but that's the beauty. You can do that, and really exciting stuff. Anything you can talk about for the future going on forward?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of things. One of the very interesting things that we're working on in the church market, we were talking about that a little bit. So music producers. Music producers use what's called a DAW application, a digital audio workstation. Yep. So Cubase, Ableton Live, there's an open source one called Reaper.
Yep.
And DJs use this, churches use it, and they can even now use it to control lights, and they can control projectors, and they can control Blackmagic switchers even. But the thing that they can't control is PTZ cameras.
Okay.
So what they can do is they can issue MIDI notes, and MIDI notes can be sent over the network, and they can also be sent looped back through a virtual driver. So we can actually now allow musicians or DJs who have these elaborate audio systems that are playing out concerts and things to time the cameras to move with the lights.
Okay.
And so the lights are moving, the cameras are moving, and it's all controlled in a familiar space for musicians, studios, production studios, churches use it, so stuff like that.
So like a light guy would actually be using the cameras as well as the lights.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get in there. But Blackmagic has announced PTZ control with their ATEM switchers, the Television HD Studio.
Okay.
I don't know if you know much about Blackmagic, but they love to announce things and then show no one how it works. In fact, they announced it before they even knew how to use it, in my opinion. But we have figured it out, and it requires an RS-232 to RS-422 adapter. It's a little kludgy, but it does work. And we're working to make that better because Blackmagic is the #1 switcher on the market.
Yeah.
The #2 switcher is the Sling Studio.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I haven't gotten a chance to use the Sling Studio. I have an ATEM at home in my gear, which I don't use too much anymore. But I'll definitely see if this works out with the PTZ cameras. Update the software and stuff like that. But Sling Studio, I'm pretty impressed on that.
It's #2 because it's so affordable and it's wireless.
Okay.
I just finished all the testing with it. Our cameras work perfectly.
Okay.
And there are ways to basically, I mean, as you know, control the cameras wirelessly. So it does work pretty well. Hi, Mark. Just reading the chat there.
Oh yeah. Sweet. Got people in chat. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
So we also have some of the new things. So we've always had iOS app, but we just launched the Android. And Android is so interesting because it also opens up the doors for like the Amazon Fire tablets that are running the Android in the background.
Okay.
There's so many like touch screens and different things that are running on the Android platform.
Yeah.
And they're much less expensive than anything from Apple, obviously.
Exactly.
So I don't know where it is, but around here I have a $50 Amazon Fire tablet that can control 8 cameras with pan-tilt zoom.
Nice.
So
yeah, because then you don't have to buy a whole bunch of iPads. You can buy some
iPads
tabs.
Everyone seems to like build for iPad, but they're like $500, and you can get a $50 touchscreen now from Amazon. So
well, the biggest problem with Android for a long time was latency.
Yeah.
Whether it was video or music, anything that was built for an Android had this issue with latency, and they couldn't get over that. And I'm not sure if it was because Google wasn't, or Android wasn't working on it, or if they didn't care or whatnot. I don't know. But it's gotten better simply because of the fact that the processing has gotten better.
Yeah, maybe they just thought the processing was going to solve it eventually.
Yeah.
It seems to work really great now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'll start buying some Android tablets. Maybe this little Google Pixel book will
Oh,
work
wow.
on that, so.
Cool.
Yeah, I just got this to review. It's the Google Pixel book 2.
Wow,
And,
look at that.
Yeah, it's nice, lightweight.
It's very light.
We're watching the YouTube.
It's
stream
running
on it,
Chromium,
so
or
it's run for the latest
Chrome?
version of Chrome. Yeah.
Wow.
And,
what a cool
amazing
platform.
stuff. My friends over at Verizon
I love the
let me
size of
borrow
it,
that
right?
for a review. So it's very lightweight, and thank you guys very much. And I want to thank the guys at PTZOptics for letting me be a part of this. Thank you very much, Paul. And hopefully we'll be doing some more of this down the road, definitely. And we got to bring Tess on, too.
I know. Well, we had to leave her home to hold down the fort over there.
Tess.
Hi, Tess. Thanks for watching and supporting us.
All right. Well, that does it for this hour, unless you want to add anybody else we can interview.
I think that's it.
No, that's it. We can watch the 3D wall.
Yeah, this giant 3D wall we're taking a look at.
You want the glasses? Here they are. Champagne's coming at you.
That's
We're
cool.
Wet, so
Wow.
Mike's just completely drenched.